Hey everybody, this is James and the Giant Economy, and today we're going to talk about the housing market. And we're going to talk about the 4 times to buy a house. And no, I'm not talking about the seasons. So let's just jump into it. There are 4 times to buy a house, right? And what I mean by that is there are times where interest rates are low and housing prices are low, right? That's one time. There are times when interest rates are high and housing prices are low, and et cetera, et cetera. And then housing prices are high, interest rates are high, and then housing prices are high and interest rates are low. Those are the 4 times. Now, these things, they take about a few years to go through, right? But we're going to go over them. I'm going to tell you which is the best time to buy a house and which is the worst time to buy a house. And we're going to go from there. So let's start. Best time to buy a house, low interest rates, low prices, right? We saw this in 2008-ish, definitely 2009, through 2012, and really it just kind of started to go up from there, right? But if you bought anything between 2008 and 2012, as of today in 2023, you probably doubled your money. I know I did in my houses, right? So that is the best time to buy a house, right? The number one time to buy a house: low prices, low interest rates. The second best time to buy a house is, can you guess it? Low prices, high interest rates, right? Because when you do a variable, either you raise the price or you raise the interest rate, it's going to affect the monthly and everything. But the difference is you can't refinance out of your housing price. The price you pay for that is the price you pay for that. You can refinance to a lower rate in the future if you have a higher rate, right? So if the house costs, $100,000 and the rate is 12%, then in the future, if rates go down to 5, you can refinance at a 5, and it still is a great deal. That's the second best time to buy a house. The third best time to buy a house is, I would say the second worst time to buy a house is when housing prices are high and interest rates are low. When did we see this, right? We saw this back in actually 2 years ago, right? Everything up to from about 2020, especially 2020, but and up to about 2022, right? When housing just flew up and the Fed lowered the rates a whole lot. Now, why is this a bad spot to be in? Well, number one, it's a bad spot because you can't fix anything. You can't change anything. You're not going to change the price of the house. You're going to have to pay it down, right? And if the rate's already low, there's a really good chance that the rates aren't going to go low. So you are literally stuck, right? Your monthly mortgage might be doable, whatnot, but you're going to be stuck in that house. You're going to be stuck with the numbers as they are, right? So again, that is the second worst time to buy a house. And we saw that, 2 to 4 years ago, right? And the worst time to buy a house is with high prices, high interest rates, right? Because you can't refinance the price. The interest rate is high. You can refinance that, but when you go to refi, this is a big factor, right? So if housing prices fall just a little bit, you're not going to be able to refi this. You're going to get stuck. This is a very, very bad time. This is the worst time to buy a house. And when is that happening? Right now. We have high prices, high interest rates. So, what's the moral of this, right? Well, for one, none of these things last forever, right? Now, I will say the low interest rates and the gradual high prices did happen through about 2013, 2015 to 2020 type thing. So that was a pretty good stretch. But I will tell you this: the worst time to buy a house, high prices, high interest rates, it's not going to last forever, right? We've had it for about a year or two. It may take another year or two to get through. But if you're going in to buy a house, whether it's an investment, whether it's for your personal, just know this is the worst time to buy a house, right? If you can be patient, okay? If you can rent. If you choose that. Some people aren't in that, right? If you're an investor, you can always choose to buy a house or not, right? There is no need to buy a house. There is just, hey, I want to buy a house to increase my net worth, to make more money, et cetera, et cetera. So you can put the brakes on and stop. And you can just be patient. And that's what I'm doing, and a lot of other big savvy investors that I know of are doing right now in the housing market, because also when you have this, the numbers just don't start to make sense, right? Your mortgage just flies through the roof, and it's like, and rents don't always catch up very fast, okay? If anything. So wanted to go over that with you. Again, my name is James. this is the giant economy we're going through. I do have some alternative investments if people are interested. Get on my email list. I'll give you all that. Just put your email below, or you can message me, and I'll put you on the email list, say hi and everything like that. So you're going to talk directly with me. But if you have any questions about that, if you disagree, agree, just post, comment. But I want to give this an educational to say, hey, these are kind of the 4 areas. This is where you're at now. Give a caution for it in my thoughts and my thinking. Right? This is not financial advice. But I also want you to know that these things go in a cycle, right? And so after the high prices, high interest rates, typically what happens in the cycle is they both go down, right? We have a recession and the prices go down and the Fed lowers rates to try and catch up. That's exactly what happened in 2006, what happened in the 70s, type thing. So there is hope on the other side. You just have to be patient and wait it out, right? And as you do that, you can gather funds, you can prepare for it. There's a lot of stuff you can do. So this is James, the Giant Economy. I hope this blessed you in some way. Helped you makes you think of something, or at least put those hamsters we have in our head on the wheels to work. So, but I'll be out for the next video. The next video is actually gonna be really good because I'm going to talk about a friend who is trying to balance equity versus rents, and we're going to go into that, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on the case.